Okay, we are live. Ah, yep, we are live. So, what I'd like to do first is get rid of all these things that are telling me Facebook's not working. Okay, so now it's going to shoot me over. There we go. Okay, got rid of those things. Hi, Carla, muggy Oklahoma City. I can imagine. It's going to get muggy everywhere before long. Hi, Donna from North Carolina. Hi, Cactus Deb. What happened to tie screen? That I could not answer. I really do not know. 105 in Glendale. I'm glad I'm in the UP. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel about it. Kenneth's sitting across the table from me and he's going, no, I'd rather be in Glendale. Oh, but he is a sweetheart and I'm going to keep him. So you can't have him. Linda, my Michigander buddy, is here. And my friend Linda from Ravenna, New York. Mary Lou Irish is here from Western New York. Kathy made it from Long Island. Hi, Kathy. I think tonight we're dedicating this to you, if I'm not mistaken. And Pam, hi from Maine. The nice thing about living in Maine is you're so close to the ocean, the temperature doesn't fluctuate as much as it does in other areas. Brisbane, Australia, where it's winter right now. I did you guys a little message here. It didn't work out so well. Hi, Linda. And Joanne is here. Welcome, Joanne. Okay, Charlene is here. Yay, Colorado's in the house. And what we're going to be working with tonight is circles on quilts. You see where I've got it started um, to do a, what is that thing called? Hi, Monica. How are you? Anyway, we are going to start here with the Baptist fan. That is what it's called. And then I'm going to show you how to do a half circle Baptist fan. Now, I need to be totally honest with you guys. I could spend a week showing you all the fun things that we can do with these circles on quilts. I really believe they're endless. Okay. Hi, is this a video or a live? I am not on vacation, Jan. It is live. Glad to see this, Ruler. You've been wanting to try it. This is the Baptist fan made with circles on quilts. I have not been on vacation. I have been all over the Midwest, it feels like lately, although it hasn't. A lot of traveling, but not on vacation. I've been going for reasons. Yeah. Courtney, hello from Texas. I hope it's a little bit cooler there than it is in Glendale. Debbie said it was 105 out there today. So anyway, I just thought I better look this over and make sure I remember how to do it. What I've got is I've got two sets of circles on quilts here. And the two sets that I have and the two sets that I posted are set 3 and set 6. There is also a 1, 2 and a 4, 5. Let me tell you what the difference is between those sets and these sets. If you have set 1 and set 2, then you have all the templates that are in set 3. So what okay. Okay. So what you're going to get in set 1 is the 2 and 2.5, I believe. And then in set 2, you're going to get the 3 and 3.5. But let me check here, because I do have them here. Oh, perfect. That worked out really well. Set one is a set of 12 templates. They're going to go from 2 to 3, 4 to 5, 6 to 7. These are whole numbers. The set two is the same size, but it's in half-inch increments. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. I'm going to set these down here. Here's set three. I'm going to put set three over here. And here is set one. And set one is going to be whole numbers. So it's going to be these two, which is 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch, plus 3-inch, 5-inch, 7-inch. And it's really interesting because these are the ones we're going to work on tonight. Set one. And set two has the 2.5, 4.5, 6.5, the 3.5, 5.5, and 7.5. All four of those templates are in set three. Okay. When I first started buying templates, we didn't have the education that we're getting now. I was horribly confused as to what was what as far as template sizes and things were concerned. So I bought set one, set two, and then shortly after set three, and realized I had just doubled my inventory of the same templates. That's why it's so important that I want to explain this to you. If you already have set one, don't go by set three, just by set two. Okay? And it works the same way for set four and five. Set six has the set of 4 templates from 12 to 18 inches. So what we're getting the first set will bring you up to 12 inches. The second sets will bring you from 12 inches to 18 inches. And as far as I'm concerned, these sets are going to offer you so many opportunities. You can make concentric circles with them. You can make all kinds of different things. You can make Baptist fans. And in this printout, it shows you exactly what I just explained. Set one is 2 to 12 at half-inch increments. Set two is 2.5 to 11.5 in half-inch increments. Set three is 2 to 12 at 1/4 inch increments. So what we're looking at here, and I gotta show you guys this one. I want to make sure I get it up in here. Okay, let me get this out of there. Well, maybe you can see it better with this on. I guess you can. I love this. It's an Art Deco 14.5-inch quilted square by Geraldine Wilkins of Living Water Quilters. Geraldine is a Westalee accredited teacher and designer, and she does some just the most beautiful work I've ever seen. She's a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist. She's a So Steady educator, and she has a website called Living Water Quilter. So if you want to see some of her things, that is the place to go. And here, this also is another really, really good illustration of what we can do. This is where we use these circles very close together. Here's where they were a little apart. And you can actually make circles look like they're coming out from each other, which I think is really cool. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this. And here it gives you the Baptist fan. All right, so what I am using is I am using the 2-inch and the 3-inch. Let me see. I have to remember, I'm using the whole sizes. I'm not using the half sizes on this one. Because if I use the half sizes, what would happen here is it just would take us way too long. Okay, so now I'm going to move up, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next area. We'll come back and finish this one in a few minutes. Let's see who else is here. Monica's here from Durand, Illinois. Welcome, Monica. And Courtney is here from Texas. I think I already said hello. Okay, I'm sorry. If I said hello once, I said hello twice, right? Ken said it won't hurt. Lisa's here from Sugarland, Texas, and Rita is here from Northern Victoria, Australia, where it is winter, definitely winter. And Lee is here from Indiana. Hi, Lee. Oh, Joey accidentally bought two of these. Yeah, I've had those senior moments too, Joy. Enjoy your eye examination, and we'll catch up with you later, okay? All right, let's go ahead and finish this one so we can talk about using just two templates, and those would be the template one set, okay? I'm gonna get a little drink here. I get really, really dry from talking. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, so what I just put in here was a 5. I need to travel now till I get to till I get to the 6 inch. And I can say inch because these are inches. Now, what I'm doing is I'm doing 1 inch. Let me back up. I'm doing half-inch increments. Half-inch increments are put out as 1 inch because that's what they will be. Half-inch on this side, half-inch on the opposite side. And we've done those things so many times now, we definitely understand that. Okay, here we go. Gonna move that guy a little bit out of the way. Now, I tried something earlier, and this is kind of one of the reasons why I went ahead and started doing this. A lot of people put their rulers like this and just let the machine run it across. I guess if you're going in the right direction, maybe it's not so bad. However, with my machine, it does not like it when I let the machine do the circle. You can see how wobbly that is. That was letting the machine push the template instead of me pushing it. So I'm going to go up 1 inch. I'm going to put this other template on. Well, I need to move up just a little more. This is a 7-inch template or 7-inch spacing. I'm sorry. Get this nice and flat. Remember, on the circles on quilts, you will need to stay to one side or the other, the top or the bottom, because they do have enough room that you can make a wiggle mark in there. And that was necessary so that the foot did not get seized up inside of that channel. Yeah, it had to have some room to move. Okay. And here we go. This is going to be the last one on this one. I just want you to just enjoy watching these nice little lines going in. And now I'm coming out to 8 inches. Going to go ahead and put this in, and we're going to stitch back to where we've begun. Now, to mark this, what I did was I marked a grid. Some people say it's not necessary. And if you can do it without the grid, that's great. That's fine. I've got no problem with that. However, I'm blonde. I need the grid. Okay, just so you're aware, I need the grid. I need to tell you guys something else too. Ken came upstairs with the mail. There was a package in the mail. I was opening the package and he was sitting across from the table from me. I told him, I honestly don't know what this is I ordered. I am so sorry, honey. I can't remember ordering anything. Well, there's a reason. It was something he ordered. Oh, bless his heart. Okay, so we are back up at the beginning here. So what we want to do is we want to line up the hole where this is right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch up. Oops, there we go. Oh, I need to go a little further. Oh, and I didn't have it down. And let's try this. Perfect. Now, you can go ahead and put the gate or put your thumbtack back on here if you want. If you're really good, you don't need to. I'm not really good. I'm going to put the thumbtack back. Okay. Just makes it a little easier. So this time, I really don't need to poke a hole in because I've got my line of stitching to tell me exactly where I should be. Okay, let's see if I can get that so I can see it. There we go. I got it now. It's getting the fingers to work that can sometimes be the trick. There we go. Go ahead, put that down and push that through. I'm going to put that template on now. And I'm going to come back. Let me get this stuff out of the way. I want you to be able to see everything really nice. We would go all the way across, which we will do. But then once we get across, we're going to come back up and we're going to come down. Now you'll notice what we're not doing is we're not stopping at the line like we did down here at the bottom. We're going to stitch until we get to the last line that we stitched on the bottom. And we're going to come out about an inch. Go ahead and put this guy back in. And we're going to come back up. Remembering to keep my foot on the inside of the template. And we're going to come back all the way out here till we hit our seam line. I'm going to go ahead and take this template off. We're going to stitch an inch. And I want to make sure that foot's down. Earlier I didn't have the foot down and I felt it.
Kathy Dewey.
Hi, Kathy. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, Jan said she switched streaming and is getting better reception. Hi, Dave and YJ. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to be at the 4-inch. And remember, 4 inches is going to be 2 inches from the center. It's just like all of our circles. And we're going to come around, smaller stitches. And we're going to stop on the previous line of stitching. Now I'm going to travel. Now, if you're not comfortable traveling, it's no problem. You can go ahead and put this in, line it up, and travel down. Yeah, I need to go just a little bit farther. There we go. And now I think I have to put this one in. Nope, this one. And now we're going to go back. Now you can make these channels as large or as small as you want. If you're a prolific free motion quilter, you may want to make this 1 inch. And I'm going to show you the difference in sizes here too. I think that's a good thing to see. Whether you ever use it or not, it's still something you should be aware of and how it can be used. Okay, so that was 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one will be number 6. And I'm just amazing myself at how close I'm coming out on each one. I'm normally not that close. Okay. Once you get going, these do tend to go rather quickly. In the beginning, when you're first starting, it may take a time or two, but they do go fast once you get going on. And there, I'm going to stop right on that 8 inch. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to put that 8 inch back in. When I do that, I'm lining it up right here so that I know that it's where it needs to be. I'm going to move you back up top here. There we go. And we're going to stitch down 1 inch. And that looks just about right. This should be 7. I need to go another stitch or 2. There we go. Nice. And we're going to come back. Remembering to keep those stitches just a little shorter too. You'll see that they just make prettier lines. And you'll also see I do put my finger down here. That line or that portion of the template can flip up a little bit, and we don't want to get it under our needle. Okay. Now, some people don't use staple tape on the circles on quilts, and that's fine. You don't have to if you don't want to. I just like to be extra prepared. Okay, so there's numbers. That's our 7 inch, number 7. And this one, I'm going to come up all the way to the number 8. I'm going to go ahead and put the number 8 in there. And I'm going to go backwards. And there we go. I'm just going to keep going. And this is how it fills everything in. The second method of making Baptist fans with the half circle, you're going to have empty spaces, but it's not the end of the world. It looks really pretty when it's done. Now what you'll notice is you see here's my line for my grid. I'm going past that. I want to meet up with the next fan, the fan that's below the one I'm stitching now. And again, I left my needle up.
You did.
I did. Ken said I did. And he is right. Okay, so now what I would do, if I was going to start a second one, I would come back here like so. Here I am at the corner of my grid. Stop there. I'm going to stitch up. And when we stitched up, let me grab my little ruler here. We stitched up 2 inches. No, we stitched up 1 inch. Duh. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this guy here because I can. And I'm gonna eyeball an inch. Okay. And to me, that looks like an inch. Now I have my choice. I can move my pin down here, or I can just put my template on and hold it. Oh, and look at how much further I need to go. It's perfect. Okay, and then I would make this all over again. Of course, I would have the first row here. I would have this first row under it. So let's go ahead and make the next Baptist fan in the circle in this row, in our first row, because this is our second row. I just went a little premature there because I definitely wanted to finish that one. Here's our grid. I've got a 4-inch grid. A 4-inch grid makes an 8-inch circle when we're using a quarter of it. Okay. And that's what we're doing. We're using a quarter of this. So for those who want to, and it's perfectly okay to do it, you can go ahead and put your pin back in. Okay, and there it is. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's perfectly fine. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stitch over until we hit that 2-inch mark. And there goes my templates. Flying again. You can see how poorly I wrote this. Vonnie. Hi. Oh. Awesome. Bonnie is from Green Bay, Wisconsin. She is one of our in-store educators, certified educators. And I got the opportunity to see her this week. Very good educator. And Bonnie, I'm so happy to have you here. Okay, Kathy is asking a question that I cannot answer. Stacy's not on live with us, Kathy. Uh, the order that you're about to make is very costly. Kathy, the best thing to do is call Stacy at the shop in the morning, okay? Because they are done for the day out there. They start early. They do start early out there. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep making our Baptist fans across the bottom of our 4-inch grid. And get that out of the way. And we want to start at the bottom because when we start at the bottom on this particular grid, we're going to end at the top here, which is where we want to go up and make our next Baptist fan. You'll see how I came back up here on the ending one. You'll see me do that again. Okay? Now, I'm going to move this a little closer here because I'm having a hard time reaching my machine, guys, so I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, here we go. Let's get the right light on. Huh, I don't know why it just switched to warm light, but it did, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my thread. We don't stitch our Baptist fans in a vertical column, unless that's all we're doing is a vertical column. We actually stitch them along the horizontal axis. And then we go to row number 2 and stitch along that horizontal axis. Okay, there we go. Don't want to roll over any dogs. And let's clip this thread, get that out of the way. Now what we're going to do is we are going to come, see, I shouldn't have done this. We're going to come like this is the edge of this is our seam right here, okay? And I'm going to take my 3-inch out. All I need to do is find it. There it is. Going to go ahead and put the 3-inch in. See how close I came. Ah, that was pretty good. Stop before you fall off the edge here, guys. You definitely don't want to go off that edge, or you're going to be getting your seam ripper out. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and travel an inch. That looks close enough. Let's see if we did how we did here. Oh, one more stitch. Perfect. There we go. Again, I'm convinced that moving the template with your foot is not a good idea. Now, if that's the way you want to do it, that's fine. I'm not a my way or highway kind gal. I'm just letting you know what I think works best for me. And there we go. And now we're going to go up an inch. Remember that old commercial? Pinch an inch? If you can pinch an inch, you need to eat our cereal for breakfast. Help you lose weight. Never worked for me. Okay. Now we're going to go, stop, advance our template. Again, we need to stop and advance the template. I do not see this as cumbersome, but it is just my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and leave that one on until I stitch an inch. I did see the new Brother machine this week at Miss Vonnie's store, and oh my gosh, that thing is amazing. I think you can just about do a whole tablecloth on one hooping with the embroidery function. Wow, I've never seen anything like that before.
Rita had a question.
Rita has a question.
Why are you sticking up straight? Isn't that supposed to meet the previous fan?
Yes, it is, Rita, but I'm doing this as if it is my first one, as if this is my seam line, okay? Because I came in and went vertical on this one, I want to show you how to do it horizontally. which is the way it's intended to be done. So when I do the next one, I will be coming over here, okay? No, no, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. I like it when you ask questions. I really do. I think if you have that question, someone else must have it. I actually had a psych class in college, and the professor, I won't tell you, we called him Rat Man because his mustache he made him look like his shadow looked like a rat. But anyway, he went on and told me because I asked him, I said, I have a stupid question. And he went on a 10-minute dissertation about the fact that there is no such thing as a stupid question. And I'm standing up in this lecture hall of 300 students the whole time he's doing that. And then he said, go ahead and ask your question. So I did. I asked my question. And his response was, I realize there's no such thing as a stupid question, but that's the closest thing I ever heard to a stupid question. Needless to say, I was embarrassed. I took it in my stride. I laughed, as did the other 299 people in the class, and we moved on. So I always tell people, no such thing as a stupid question. The only thing is I won't tell you it's as close as I've ever heard. Okay, so this is going to be our 8-inch, and this will be our last go around up here. And what we want to do next is we want to get back down to this corner. We have a couple ways we can do that. One way is stitching back down there. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take my template out. I'm not going to move anything.
I'm digging pool standing up for you in there.
Huh?
Digging pool.
Okay. Debbie says, what a terrible thing for a professor to say. I don't believe there are stupid questions and always treated my students as such. You know what? He meant it as a joke, and I took it as a joke, as did everyone else in the class. I wasn't insulted. I actually thought it was a funny retort. I really did, because that's what I would say to somebody, maybe. I don't know. Depends on the class. And I was very comfortable in his class. I knew it was a joke. It's okay. Okay, so now we are back to the bottom. If you want to avoid having to double stitch this last fan blade, what you will do is start at the top left-hand side of the first blade, okay? Then you could go all the way across without hitting a um, second uh, line of stitching. Okay, so now I'm going to come out 2 inches. You can go ahead and move the pin if you'd like, or just keep your template on track. It's entirely up to you. Personally, I prefer the pin because I don't trust myself to keep that template exactly where it needs to be. And you'll see I brought that template up in the previous stitch. I'm not so much using the reference lines that I put in. And the reason I don't always use those reference lines is because there's a dimension to it. There's also a dimension to the numbers um, on our rulers. So these may not be 100% accurate. Use the stitching. That will work better. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at how close I came, you guys. So now we are going to go all the way back here. Just want to look at something here. Okay. I want to get these. Okay. Just want to get these out so that I can put the. Hi, Elizabeth. Okay, so here is the set, the larger set I am putting on, and I'm going to put on the smaller set, the one that I'm using now. We do have deal day 20 on these. And here they are. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to come all the way back here. And we're going to stop at that line of stitching. Now I'm going to stitch up an inch. Okay. We're going to switch to the number, the 3-inch. I need another stitch or two there. There we go. Beautiful. And all the way down to the bottom. Don't run off of that template. Remember, that could be a disaster. And remember, now we're doing, this is our seam line. It's our pretend seam line, but it's our seam line. Okay, and here we go. And another row. And we are going all the way back. This is the way that they work when we're doing them horizontally. I have a feeling that we are not going to get anywhere near what I want to do tonight. And Kathy asked for something specific. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get through these Baptist fans tonight. And tomorrow what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a free class for the Baptist fans and the concentric circles and the circles hiding behind circles, which are things I've wanted to do with this. So I'm going to go ahead and do a free class on the university with those different designs. Okay. I don't want you to have to pay for it. I think I could easily do 3 different classes, 1-hour classes here on these guys. So, Kathy, are you good with that? Because you're the one who requested the special design. And I need to scroll down. Okay.
Kathy Dewey.
Kathy Dewey was the one. Oh, no, no, it wasn't Kathy Dewey. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me look. Let me look. I'm looking here. Oh, Ronnie's here. She's in Fargo, North Carolina. North Dakota, I'm sorry. Kathy Cronin, it was. Kathy, you are the one who asked, not Kathy Dewey. It's hard for me to keep all you guys straight. But Kathy Cronin from Long Island had asked me to do a half circle Baptist fan. And you know what? If we just finish up this one, I might have time to get a little bit of one done for you, Kathy.
No sense starting it tonight.
Ken said there's no sense in starting it tonight if I can't finish it, and that makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna come up here.
And on the university, they can tune in anytime.
Yes, I will definitely do it on the university, and they can turn in any time that's convenient for them.
Without charge.
Without charge, yes, I would do the class without charge, absolutely. And here we go. And we're gonna go all the way down. What I like about this, using these, is that we can make our Baptist fans larger. The mini Baptist fan set is awesome. This one, we can go all the way to 18 inches. That is amazing. Okay, and here's my 8-inch. So this will be the last one going on this horizontal line. Okay, beautiful. I'm getting kind of better at those measurements. Okay, so now we're going to come up here. There we go. And you see we're coming right on the tip of that grid I drew in. What's Ken?
The intersection.
Yeah, the intersection. So now what I'm going to do, we're going to pretend I did a whole bunch of these, okay? We're just going to do some pretending here. So now what I would do is I will come back up. I'm not even going to bother putting my pin in there, but I would come back up to the side seam. We're pretending this is the side seam. And I'm going to come here. I'm going to stop right about there. I'm going to take my 2-inch and I'm going to see where I need to line that up. And I need to go over just a little bit. There we go. And now we're going to come in and do our next Baptist fan. There we go. Now I'm going to do the 3-inch.
Being great, Kathy. I'm headed to Kansas City tomorrow for the Greater Kansas City Festival.
Oh, Jan, I wish I was there to go with you. That would be so awesome.
We'll be on the bus and then putting blisters on my feet and spending money.
That's what happens, hey? Those quilt shows can be pretty nasty hard on our bodies and our pocketbooks. And we're going to come down here. Oh, somebody's just all came to life and decided it's playtime. Mm-hmm.
It's time to go what?
Do you see a template back here? Oh, that's because it's right here.
No.
Oh,
You gotta go pull, Paul. Okay.
yeah, when you gotta go, right, Dad?
Seem to think that they gotta go.
I'll be right there. We're gonna go. Perfect.
Shut me down. He's on there.
Okay, I'll see you downstairs in a little bit. And you notice this time I don't have my packet. I'm just lining myself up each time right here. Oh, and I forgot to leave my needle in my fabric. See, when I'm just practicing like this, I get sloppy. But I know I'm being sloppy. There we go. Now we're going to come up an inch. My border collie stays up here. Yes, the little hooligans are gone. Okay, so this is a 5-inch I need here. And my needle is in, and I'm going to turn my template, making sure my hole is lined up where it needs to be. Oops, I got to move it down a little bit. And now I'm going to come up. And it's amazing how easy it is to measure out that inch once you keep going on this. And I think I need to go one stitch further. There we go. Perfect. Learn to stitch in each direction simply because if you have a big quilt in here, you're going to thank yourself for doing that. Don't worry about stopping and starting. That's easy enough to do. And we do that with city driving all the time. Stop on that seam line. Now we're going to go up an inch. Oh, 7 inches is where I want to be. Oh, and I need to come down just a little bit on this one. Remember, this is in our seam line. It's not going to show, right? There we go. Up there. And down we're going to go. And we're going to stop with our needle down. And now I'm going to come back out this way. Okay, I'm going to get this pin out of here, this tack, because I keep keep poking myself with it. And we're doing our 8-inch on this one. And do I need to make an adjustment? Yeah, about one stitch. There we go. Perfect. Now, if you're not really sure which one you're supposed to start on, you can always go ahead and put an arrow here so it reminds you that you're doing the bottom, not the top of this circles on quilts. Okay, and we're going to come up. And here, this is going to start off our second row. Now to get to where we're going to begin, we would come back down here. Now, you know, I do not mind cutting thread. You guys all know that about me. Okay. And so I would probably cut this and come back down here. Okay. Let's see where we're all. Yeah, Jan, you're going to have a great time. She's going to Missouri Star on the following day. I really do wish I was there with you because, yeah, Carla says, Jan, you're living dangerously. And I tend to agree with you, Carla. Okay, so Kathy says, so you like cutting with scissors? Yeah, when I cut off these, my machine does not have a cutter on it, Kathleen. You don't clip to the point of scissors and you don't sew to the end point of the template. What I'm doing here is this is a pretend seam allowance. Let me back this up. This is a pretend seam allowance. This is the next rotation that I would do. I would sew all the way back to this point, and I'm going to show you. We'll do one more row, one more on here, okay? And what I would do is I would clip my threads with a tail. And then I would go ahead and pull that tail up to the top that easily. It really is that easy. I'd make an overhand knot, get my self-threading needle. There's two different kinds. One threads from the top, one threads from the side. I personally prefer the one that threads through the top that easily. If you like the one that threads through the side, that's fine. That's not the end of the world. We all have our own preferences, and that's what we should use, what we are comfortable with. See, there's my knot. Now my knot is gone. And it's just that easy, guys. It doesn't take any time at all, and it helps things look so much more professional. Could I have come down like I did here? Yep, definitely could have, but I didn't. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start with our number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in. Come here. And this is where I'm going to start my next set of, and I'm going to go ahead and put my needle down. Now remember, you're going to have all of this filled in. So what you're going to have is you're not going to have a whole bunch of space like I've got here. And let me do this. Let me just put the last row in. That's why this would be so much easier to go ahead and do a video. And where's number 8? Here it is. So number 8, my top row is going to be right here on the row previous. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Pull that bobbin thread up. There we go. I'm going to line up my 8-inch. And we're going to keep on moving it. I'm keeping it perfectly on that spot. I'm going to stop with my needle down. I'm going to continue to bring it over to the previous set of rotations. When I do this video, I will make sure that I have a whole long area already stitched in on the first row, so we know exactly where the next row is going to start. Okay, let's go ahead and take that out. And this is just practice. For practice, I don't tend to bury my threads. It's not necessary. But if it's a good quilt, I do. Okay, Kathleen says, you don't clip to the point of scissors and you don't sew to the end point of the template. Actually, I do. I do right here, Kathleen. That way you have no squiggly stitches. Okay, squiggly stitches. I'm glad you brought it up, Kathleen. Some machines have squiggly looking stitches when you stitch backwards. What I want you to see, when I stitched backwards, there's absolutely zero squiggly stitches in this machine. So it's not every machine that has squiggly stitches stitching backwards. Many of them do. Okay. You may be blessed with one of those machines. This is a 1950s vintage Singer 301 that I'm stitching on. And the reason that I have chosen this machine is because of the stitch integrity. This machine stitches forwards and backwards beautifully, but that's all it does. It doesn't cut, it doesn't do zigzag, it doesn't do anything but stitch forwards and backwards, Kathleen. And, if you have a machine that does that, you should probably clean it out real good, change your needle, see if that stuff helps. If not, I would bring it into my local dealer and have it looked at. I hope that better answers your question, Kathleen. Okay? Jen's been starving herself for 4 months, so she has money to go to Missouri Star. I don't blame you. I think I would too. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do the second set of rotations here so we can see how they line up here. Remember, we're pretending we have stitching lines all down here. I'm going to go ahead and make this video with a regular Baptist fan, with a half circle Baptist fan. I'll show you concentric circles on it. I will show you how to devise a design using the circles alone, okay? There's so much that we can do, guys, with this. I want you to see it all. I really, really do. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come down from the top to the bottom this time. And yeah, I would on my quilt, if I was doing Baptist fans, I would cut it and I would go ahead and I would bury those stitches in. And does it take more time? Yeah, it certainly does, but not enough to make it unattainable. Okay? You guys got this. You can do it. I know you can. All right, here we go. So remember, this is row 2 of our second Baptist fan. Okay, we're going to come down here about an inch. I'm going to come one more stitch here, I think. Stay on that line of stitching. This is really hard for me to do while I'm filming or doing it live, I should say, because when I'm filming, I can move my camera around. But when I'm doing it live, I'm doing it so that you can see it. There it is. I had it moved down. I'm sorry. Now we're going to do, that was number 2. So now we're going to do number 3. We're going to line that hole up. And you can see I can't get this into that foot channel there. So I'm going to go 1 stitch ahead, and there it is. It lines up beautiful. So here we go. And you can see, Kathleen, my backward stitching is coming along nicely. I'm taking small stitches because I want my partial circles to be smooth. If we take smaller stitches, it makes the curvature of our design look much smoother. Okay, we're going to come up, stop there. That was number 3. We're going to put number 4 in. And we need to go up just a little further for number 4. There we go. Perfect. There we go. And coming back down. I'm going to move it around again. And now I'm going to stop when I meet up with the previous line of stitching. It's going to be right about there. Put my needle down. Now I'm going to stitch back about 1 inch. Okay. That was 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be 5. And you can see I have to move up a little bit, maybe 2 more stitches. Whoops, number 5. There we go. That was perfect, guys. Boy, do I get an A for effort tonight, right? This over here so I don't misplace it. Around we're going to go. And we're going to come all the way to the end this time. And there we go. Now I want to come up 1 inch. So this is going to be number 6. I need to move myself around here. Oh, look at what I did. Oh, I knew I was doing that too. There we go. As I said, stable tape, some people use it, some people don't. It's a personal preference. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to move up. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to move up for our 7-inch. Put that back on. Oh, yay! I got it right on that time. I'm going to go ahead and turn it a little bit. Make sure you guys got a good view of it. There we go. Stop there. And remember, this is 7 inches. Making sure I'm lining up right here each time. Double checking that. Okay, now we're going to go up. This will be an 8-inch. And I went about 1 stitch too far. There we go. Perfect. Okay. The other thing that I really want to show you is the difference between what we're doing here is a 1/2 inch increment. I want to show you a 1-inch increment, and I also want to show you a 1/4 inch increment. Okay. So that we'll definitely put in the video. And there we go. And that's how they're all going to line up. And that's how they're going to look when we get done with them. Okay, go ahead and cut this thread. There we go. Let's bring it out, tilt it over. As I said, this part here was doing them in a vertical manner. This part here is doing them in the traditional horizontal manner. So that's the difference with how they're going to look. Hi, Valerie. Okay. Let's see where we are at. Kathy said that's wonderful. Looking forward to the video. Good, Kathy. I'm glad that I can do that. And it's not a problem at all because there is so much we can do with these templates. And I really want you guys to see everything that we can do, not just this is a very popular thing to do, but I think some of the other things are going to be beautiful, and I'm excited to do them. Oh, yeah, Linda's my Michigander buddy. She loves the Baptist fan design, and it really is easy to do. And um, Okay, Linda or Valerie says she's looking for a template the same shape as circles on quilts, spinning wheel, only larger than 5.5 inches. I like how it's open in the center. Yeah, Valerie, you can go up to 18 inches with the circles on quilts. Okay, so you've got a whole lot of room to work, and you can work with some free motion in there too. It's a great way to practice your free motion. Haha, Lee likes it. How to use it without the pin. You know what, Lee? I like it without the pin too because I hate getting picked on it all the time. Mm. So this is just a portion of what I had planned for tonight. I wish we had time to do everything, but we'd probably be here till midnight. Um, Bonnie says she feels smarter, but she plans, but looking forward to learning more. I'm looking forward to being able to teach you more, Bonnie. That's what I love to do. I love to be here doing this. I thank you all for being here from the bottom of my heart. I really definitely mean that. And I love the interaction that I get, that you guys ask questions. That is so awesome. And that you kind of question me on what I'm doing because, yeah, you know what? So is there one shaped like a number 36 but bigger? Are you talking about 36 inches, Valerie? Oh, the number 36, I would have to look, but I don't know if there would be. So you're talking about the circles on Quilt's spinning wheel, and I would need to look for that, Valerie. Okay? As far as I know, they're all available. Everything that's available we can find right now. Um, Linda, not a problem. Absolutely not a problem. She says she appreciates and for the video, she's looking forward to it. So, what would be great is you guys click like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget that. That's always very important. Thank you, Valerie. I'm glad I could answer your question. Rita, always good to have you here. I really appreciate your presence. So, try this. Look forward to the video. It's going to take me a day or two to get it together, and then it will be in the university and it will be of no charge to y'all. Okay. So until we meet again, which is going to be tomorrow morning, I hope, let's quilt.